Hello everyone and welcome to an unboxing of the third edition Batman miniature game starter set by Knight Models, themed of course, if you can't tell already, around the Robert Pattinson The Batman movie that came out late last year. When was that out? Either way, it was good. This is the third starter set for the third edition of the game. The first one was a massive big box, bunch of scenery, 2 full crews. It was one of the first unboxings I did for the channel, I think, way back when. So you can check that out still if you want, it's on the channel. Then they did a more compact version, which didn't have all the scenery in it, like the big Ferris wheel and whatnot. Took out a couple of models, brought the price point way down by like 40% or something at least, making it a bit more reasonable if you wanted to buy in and try the game. But you didn't get 2 full crews. This is different though, in that it's also compact, doesn't come with scenery, but what you do get, if we can take a quick look at the back here, you get a full 350 rep Batman crew and a full 350 rep organised crime crew, all themed around the Batman. And it's reasonably priced. It's priced the same as the smaller version of the original starter set, roughly, if you're buying it within the UK, roughly on either side of £65, which, especially if you're splitting it with someone because there's 2 full crews in here, is not a big ask to get a sampling of the game. I am very interested to see how well packed it is, because the original big box was very haphazard and also different from video to video. I watched a couple of other unboxings of that and theirs looked completely different to mine, which was not great because they should really be uniformal. We're going to find out as we open this. On that note, incidentally, if you've also received yours or are about to receive yours, let me know if yours looks the same. Oh, the lid is well and truly on there. Let me know if yours looks the same. That is really stuck in. Is there sellotape? No, it was just really stuck. Okay. So, we have our lid off. I like the red theme, incidentally. So we have all our various gibbons here. Let's see. That looks fairly correctly laid out to me, all the plastic and resin. And because I pre-ordered, you do get a drifter model, which is Bruce Wayne when he's just kind of like drifting around, moping in parts of the movie. And he can turn into the Batman, and he costs the same, so you just need to bring him, and he plays a little bit differently, and it means you don't have Batman from the start of the match, but he has his own little benefits. So we also have cards to look at and whatnot. We're going to look at this in a second. We're going to start with everything in this, which means I'm going to need to open it real quick. Alright, let's see what we have here first of all. As far as I'm aware, this is just a more compact version of the existing version of the rulebook, with a different cover. Oh, that's different art actually. Neat. It's still got the dedication to their team member who sadly passed away. More pages because it can fit less on a page, but that makes sense. But I don't think anything in here has updated from the core version, or indeed the version you can get for free on the Knight Models website as a PDF. It does look like they're using more updated miniatures for their example screenshots though. Yeah, for instance, there's the Mr. Freeze crew in the Batcave there. So that's a newer picture. In fact, they're using the assets from this version because it's red. And the Robins Who Laugh there. That's kind of why I'm looking through this, because sometimes in their rulebooks they do little previews of models that aren't out yet. So I'm just kind of checking. Oh yeah, look, they're using new miniatures there to show examples of height difference. But again, the rules themselves should be identical. The best way to keep up with what's changed on a model by model basis is to use the app. It's the only way they're updating cards now. You don't actually get character cards, including in this box, so you have to use the app. And as of yet, the compendium has not been updated for quite some time, which is the other way to check what traits mean. Yeah, we've got KG Beast down in the corner there, Mr. Freeze crew again, fighting League of Assassins, the 3 Jokers. Oh, well, they've actually already revealed this, but this would have been a little bit of a reveal. They've shown that there's the Batman themed Riddler model coming, not in this box, it's a separate thing. I don't know what he's going to be affiliated with, because although he's a villain, he's killing bad guys. We'll see. Eventually. And finally, preparing the game. Oh, here we go. Any new models here? Nope, just showing off the various crews. Nothing new. Well, these are newer releases, but I mean, nothing new if you've been following the game, as I kick the camera. So that does look like the rulebook as it stands. Nice to have a physical copy that's also more compact, so you can have it with you much easier, because the other one is about the size of this box in terms of height, so good to have. So let's put that to one side, and then we have all the push out board bits. One just fell out, the flame template. Does that look the same, green on the other side? Yep. So that's the same, but the blast template is not. You know, it's coming out anyway, so let's just... So you've got the Riddler symbol from the Batman on one side. Bat signal on the other, nice. The existing one is like Joker teeth exploding on one side, and what's on the other side? Just a fiery explosion, I think. So most of these are tokens that already exist in the game. These are measuring sticks for the inches written on them, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1. And status effects that already exist. Poison, frost, what's the spiderweb symbol? That's the slow symbol from Crisis Protocol. Enervating, and you've got movement bonuses, defense bonuses, attack bonuses, but in the very stylish black and red as opposed to yellow and black that they had before. So you've got one sheet of those plus the bits that fell out. Then you've got the next part, which has all your red and black themed Audacity markers for two sides. Audacity markers, suspect markers, resource points. Then you've got new stun and blood markers as well. The rest of your status effects, and some tokens for lampposts, sewer gratings, the loot, medkits, ammo, Titan, etc, etc. And then finally, just a bunch more, because you have to have 8 of each suspect marker type obviously, and 2 sets of 4 Audacity markers. They're actually different coloured, which is nice. There's 2 pure red with black on the outside, and then 2 reversed on each of those 2 bits of cardboard. So that's a nice way to differentiate them, although if you have an existing starter set, which I'm imagining most people will, one side can use the yellow ones, one side can use the red ones, and that will make it stand out a bit better, especially on camera, so I'm glad about that. But that's all the cardboard, so now comes the more important stuff. So I've taken the poly wrap off of the cards just to show what you have. They feel a little thinner, actually no, it's just because there's so many of them tightly packed. They felt a bit like thin, but I don't think so. So these are the deployment maps. The only good one is Showdown, in my opinion, but there is other ones that you are supposed to random, although I don't. And then the optional, what are they called again, events? No new ones, as far as I'm aware. These all look familiar to me. Yep. And then we're on to a new set of objective cards for the Batman crew. Identical, I believe, with the exception of a new Batman card. And I think this will probably include Unveiling the Truth. Let's see if we can find, yeah, there it is. So if you didn't get it when they offered it as part of the year 1 releases, this is another way to get it. And that is the Robert Pattinson Batman specific objective card. It's only usable as him, although if you bring him, he can actually use the generic Bruce Wayne one as well, according to the app. At time of recording, that might change, just FYI. So there you go if you want to read it. We also have Catwoman. I don't remember if this Catwoman is Batman affiliated or Unknown affiliated, but she has her own card too. And it is only usable with that Catwoman, not any of the generic ones. And then we have the Organised Crime deck. No changes here, although a lot of the models that come in this Organised Crime crew help these cards, which is what they needed, because this is a rough deck to use. Definitely the harder of the two in this set, in my opinion. And that should have, yep, there we go. I'll just put these down here. We have a new card for the Colin Farrell Penguin. And a new card for, what's his face from the Transformer movies that plays Falcone. Also there. And then we just have a reminder of how the Organised Crime's black market money works. He's a Intel support piece on the table. So that leaves us with, actually no it doesn't, hang on, just one more thing before the models. Little thing. But we do have some more of the standard dice. This is the exact same dice that came with the other starter sets. I'm a little disappointed they didn't go with a colour change theme. Would have been nice. The one different die is to denote the strength die. Same number of them, you never really need more than that. It's exceptionally rare to need more than that. And that leaves, there's a loud truck goes past my window, a big bag of bases. There's one massive base for a mounted unit, I think, or that could be Falcone's actually. Oh yeah, because the horse is on the oval shaped one there. We don't need to look at the bases. What we want to look at though is the sprue here. So I'm going to put the Drifter to one side because he's technically not part of this. He was a pre-order bonus. You don't need him. You can just feel Batman. On that note, I do like the the Batman, but I want to check something specific about him, so let's see if we can find his bag first. That's definitely Falcone. Oh, he's a thick base. Where is the Batman? Let's see here. That's the cops. This is more cops. This is horse. That means this has got to be Batman and Catwoman, right? It is. Okay, good. Let's open this for a second and see something specific. We're also going to look at the detail of just some of the sprue, the bits that matter. Let's see Batman's body and specifically the gargoyle. And the reason I want to specifically look at the gargoyle that he's standing on is because it's not really, it doesn't really fit his Batman. And it's also, here's the gargoyle. It's also a gargoyle they've been using for a long time, like the old Nightwing is standing on this, the old Arkham Knight Batman is standing on this. I think it's, wait, am I missing a wing? Oh, it's probably part of another bit of the scenery. But let's see here, let's see if we can zoom in. I think that's in focus. Obviously missing his leg, his head. But in terms of quality, it looks very nice. It looks cleaned up. A little bit on his cape needs to be removed, the flash. But it looks neat and tidy, and that's good. Okay. Back out, sorry. That's the base that he goes on as well. Actually, no, it's not. That's definitely Catwoman's because there's a cat on it. So his is the other one. I want to see if you don't need the gargoyle. That's what I wanted to check. Let's see here. That is his base. And it's awkward if you don't use it. Because that's going to go in... Where's that going to go in? It's going to go in somewhere. Oh, there. I see. I think there's another part that's to go in first that has the gargoyle's other wing. But it's to go in there somewhere. And he's standing on it. And I was curious if you could model him without it and it would look normal. You might just have to put him on a normal base, it's looking like. I'm trying to see where the other half of the gargoyle is in this bag. It is segmented correctly, like this is only Catwoman stuff and only Batman stuff. So the bags do seem accurately themed. Okay, let's see here. This definitely goes here somewhere, because it fits like that, but I have no idea how this lines up. Oh, there we go, actually. So what goes there? Oh, there's a girder behind him. So you could have just the girder, I guess. But then you've got to have the gargoyle. I'm curious why my gargoyle only has one wing. There we go. That's how it slots together. So if you don't want a really weird looking open space, you've got to have him like that. And then Robert Pattinson would be somewhere roughly there. He's quite tall. But if you didn't want the gargoyle, you could probably just have the girder and maybe like fill this hole. Yeah, maybe. It would be awkward, I would say. I was curious because he doesn't really do that in the movies. He doesn't go around standing on gargoyles. His cape is also a little long because he has a pretty short cape in the movie. But I guess that's just for drama. So we don't need to look at every single like bit of sprue that's just got hands on it. But I will look out. This is the Penguin and the twins. Let's look at them. Let's look at Falcone for sure. And then some of the cop bodies. Check the quality. So here we have approximately 60% of Colin Farrell's Penguin. And then we have twin number who knows right here. And next to him we have twin number who knows. One of them is leaning slightly to the side. But otherwise they're one piece. They just go straight onto the base. There's a little bit of cleanup required. But the detailing looks really good. I was going to show off Falcone, but he is in a lot of bits. Not just his super thick base. Like his head, his hands, his what's he using? Snooker cue, that's the one. His light, his chair. He's got a very busy base because he's just orchestrating things from back at the Iceberg Lounge. So he's in too many bits to look at really individually, but the quality at a glance to me looks good. So this is Officer Martinez's body, I believe, the one who kind of hates Batman at first but then kind of helps him towards the end. And then we have... Oh, this is the guy whose nose gets broken, I think. He's usable in the organised crime crew and the cops. He's one of those, like, crooked ones that bounces between, I think. But to make up the 350 rep, he does have to be in the organised crime. And then we have the Chief of Police, who's the sidekick for the Batman side. I've forgotten his name. This is the one model where it doesn't look anything like he does in the movie, because in the movie, no offence to the actor, he was a little bit more poultry. He had a bit of a belly, and a chubbier face. This is like how he imagines himself to be when he looks in the mirror in the morning. Well, this is about half of the horse miniature, and if you're wondering where in the movie was a horse, the only part I can think of is the funeral scene. I'm not sure why this is here. I don't like their oval bases. I don't think they needed a mounted cop, but maybe he's useful for the crew. I think he is always on the move, which is a good role, but it seems a little bit out of place, honestly, and a little bit unnecessary to have a mounted unit like this. But there you have it. He comes with all the bits. This one looks like it needs the most cleanup, actually. The stuff that I haven't taken out the bag it looks like it does need quite a bit of cleanup. I know I said I wasn't going to show off all the little bits of sprue that's just arms and heads and such, but it was either this or just a bunch of headless hired goon bodies, so I thought it was quite funny just to show off their various heads on a little bit of sprue again. Very highly detailed, obviously in need of cleanup. A lot of them have flash sticking to the top of them, but very nice. And then there's just a bag with a bunch of headless, armless bodies. But there's just some new generic hired goons, some of which have nice roles for helping score the harder, well, not even harder, just score in general, some of the organised crime crews objective deck, which is definitely one of the harder ones in the game. So that is it for what you get in the newest iteration of the 3rd edition starter set for Batman the Miniature Game. I think it's a very fair price. I like that you get 2 full 350 rep crews. The models are great, the quality looked good to me. At a glance, nothing seemed to be missing, so that's a nice plus. And if you're curious about the miniature game and want to try it, you can still get the other starter set, but unless you're super into the Joker or the Batman based on Todd McFarlane's art style that comes with that, you're going to get more for your money in this because you're getting a full playable crew. You're missing your big leaders in the smaller version of the existing set prior to this. I think you get like 240 rep or something, so you're missing like 100 points roughly that you would fill with a leader that they sell separately. So they might be taking a little bit of a hit on this to make it more desirable. You're getting enough for 2 people to fully play the game, all the assets you need as well, all the objective cards. The only thing you're missing is the character cards, which you have to use the app for. The app is free, but you have to use the app. That's the only downside. But as far as a buy-in to try the game, it's a good price. I can't knock the price. It's a fair price, very fair in fact. So if you are still curious and have not decided, there is a long-running series on the channel where we play the Batman miniature game. Lots and lots of battle reports, updating as the app updates the rules as we go. If you want to check it out, see how some of the other crews available for the game plays, of which there's tons, and then there's also teams which are a little different, a little bit more nuanced. But this is a perfect jumping in point if you're interested. But by all means, if you're still not sure, go check those out, see how the game flows. It's very good. It's got a very nice layer of strategic depth, not death. The objective decks are fun to use. It doesn't take much to get used to them. And yeah, it's probably my favourite game that I'm playing consistently at the moment. So check it out. And you can buy it from Night Models directly or from your local gaming store if they carry the game. Thank you for watching. That is going to conclude the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was informative. And see you next time. Ta-ta for now.